and welcome to the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. I'm Kayla Abraham.
And I am Chioma Innocent. Here are the headlines. Ningi'S resigns as chairman of Northern Senators Forum.
Tinubu approves nomination of a FCT Civil Service Commission. Others.
Senate Majority Leader alleges plot to impeach Akpabio.
And in sports, I will accept Super Eagles' job if conditions are right. Olise.
Now in the news in detail. In a recent development, Senator Abdul Ningi'S resigned his position as the chairman of the Northern Senators Forum. Ningi'S said his resignation was necessitated by unfolding events in the National Assembly, the North and the nation at large. In his address, he especially thanked members of the forum for the opportunity to spearhead the forum for the last 8 months. You will recall that Ningi'S, representing Bauchi Central on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), was suspended for 3 months over his allegation that the federal government was operating to budget. The senator had earlier alleged that 3.7 trillion naira was padded into the 2024 budget. The suspension followed amendment of prayers by Senator Jimoh Ibrahim to the motion raised by Senator Solomon Adeola Olamilekon, which took senators hours to debate.
Amid the controversies surrounding the budget claims made by the now suspended Senator Abdul Ningi'S, President Bola Tinubu is now engaged in closed-door discussions with Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Deputy Senate President Barau Jibrin, and other key lawmakers at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. This high-level meeting taking place today comes against the backdrop of recent tensions in the Senate following the suspension of Senator Abdul Ningi'S of Bauchi Central PDP. Senator Ningi'S, who also serves as the chairman of the Northern Senators Forum and the Senate Committee on Population, found himself at the center of controversy after alleging in an interview that the federal government under President Tinubu was executing a budget that exceeds the amount approved by the National Assembly. VOP News had earlier reported that Ningi'S, after his suspension from the upper chamber, was escorted out of the red chamber by the sergeants at arms.
The majority leader of the Senate, Akpabio, has claimed that some senators were planning to impeach Senate President Godswill Akpabio before July 2024. Bamidele said this today during the debate on the claim made by Abdul Ningi'S, senator representing Bauchi Central, that the 2024 budget was padded by 3 trillion naira. You will recall that during the weekend, Ningi'S stirred controversy when he made the allegation and said a huge damage has been done to the North and the entire country through the budget. At plenary today, Solomon Adeola, a senator representing Ogun West, moved a motion on privilege over the matter. Adeola stated that his privilege was breached because he was part of the process that produced the 2024 budget. While speaking, Bamidele, the senator representing Ekiti Central, said the allegation made by Ningi'S is tantamount to civilian coup against Akpabio. The majority leader said the Bauchi senator wanted to use the platform of the Northern Senators Forum to execute the civilian coup. He further stated that a few senators have refused to work with Akpabio after he was elected Senate President on July 13, 2023.
Still on politics, former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, has rubbished reports claiming he is set to dump the People's Democratic Party (PDP) ahead of the 2027 elections. The report claimed Atiku and some other politicians were planning to form a new party to challenge the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) and President Bola Tinubu. However, Atiku, in a personally signed statement today via his account on the X platform, he said the reports are pure lies which should be disregarded by Nigerians. While affirming his loyalty to the PDP, the former vice president accused President Tinubu of pursuing a personal agenda with the story instead of focusing on governance. The 2023 presidential candidate of the PDP added that those behind the story of him dumping the PDP are mischief makers and there is no truth in the allegation.
Meanwhile, the trial of 5 suspects arrested in connection with the burning of the River State House of Assembly last year could not proceed today at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Judge Mobolaji Olajuwon adjourned the trial until March 19 following information by counsel for two of the defendants, Lukman Fagbemi, a senior advocate of Nigeria, that the prosecution filed a counter affidavit that raised the serious allegations against his client. Mr. Fagbemi told the court that he had filed a motion on notice to challenge the competence of the charge and the territorial jurisdiction of the court to hear the matter. He told the court that he had just been served in the open court the Inspector General of Police's counter affidavit that raised the grievous allegations against his client in objection to their motion. The senior lawyer said he would need more time to study the processes and respond appropriately. The lawyer prosecuting the case on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Ali Garba, admitted that he served the counter affidavit opposing Mr. Fagbemi's application in the court. Olajuwon equally discovered that a copy of the prosecution's counter affidavit was not in the court's file. She consequently adjourned the matter until March 19 for continuation of trial.
Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the appointment of Engineer Emeka Eze as the pioneer chairman of the newly created Federal Capital Territory Civil Service Commission. Similarly, the president also approved the appointment of Atang Udo Samuel as the pioneer head of the civil service of the FCT. The appointment was sequel to the nominations by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike via a letter dated March 11, 2024 and forwarded to President Tinubu for action. Eze will chair a 7-member FCT Civil Service Commission with pioneer 6 commissioners appointed by the president. In the same vein, President Tinubu has approved the appointment of 3 nominees as heads of 3 critical agencies under the FCT administration.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Dr. Dayo Moberiola to serve as the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, for a renewable term of 4 years. According to a statement by presidential spokesman Ajuri Ngelale, the appointment follows the exit of Mr. Bashir Jamo, whose tenure recently expired. Ngelale said Dr. Moberiola holds a PhD and an MSc in Transport Economics from the University of Wales, United Kingdom. He's a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Transport, England, and a fellow of the same institute in Nigeria. He was the Managing Director of Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Lamata, from 2003 to 2015 and was also the Commissioner for Transportation in Lagos State from 2015 till 2016. While congratulating him, Ajuri noted that the President expects the new Director General to bring his vast experience to bear in his new role and to achieve the mandate of the MASA in providing world-leading standards of maritime safety administration, maritime labor regulation, marine pollution prevention and control in accordance with the policies and programs of the renewed hope agenda for the sector, as ably guided by the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola.
Oluremi Tinubu, the wife of President Bola Tinubu, has responded to a recent threat by an unidentified cleric in Bauchi purportedly wishing her dead. VP News reports that a viral video surfaced a few weeks ago in which the Islamic cleric declared that Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu deserved to die for her Christian faith while describing the Muslim ticket that brought President Bola Tinubu to power as a scam. However, undeterred by the threat, the First Lady said that at 64 years of age, she shouldn't fear death. She made these remarks during a courtesy visit to the Emir of Bauchi, Alhaji Rewan Adamu, before commissioning some projects in the state today. VP News also reports that Remi Tinubu, who also serves as the national chairperson of the Renewed Hope Initiative, was in the state to inaugurate some ICT and educational facilities in the capital.
The Lagos State Police Command has rearrested Afro singer Ibrahim Owoduni, also known as Prime Boy, over circumstances leading to Mohbad's death. This was after the police declared Prime Boy wanted on October 4, 2023, after which he turned himself in 2 days later. Prime Boy was arrested in the early hours of today during his visit to the State Criminal Investigation Department (SCID) at Banti Yaba, alongside Ayobami Fisayo, also known as Spending. A source privy to the development said that Prime Boy had spending had been asked to visit the state CID every week since the commencement of the investigation into the circumstances leading to the death of singer Ilerioluwa Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad. Prime Boy was, however, detained during today's visit, while the other was released. When contacted, the State Police Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hundeyi said he was not aware of the arrest and he will find out the details as soon as possible.
Now in insecurity, Governor Ademola Adeleke has raised the alarm over planned attacks on schools and rural farm communities in Osun State. The governor raised the alarm in a statement by his spokesperson Olawale Rashid today. Adeleke said intelligence snippet, which he had been given, revealed a deliberate mobilization of criminal elements to attack rural areas. He said such reports were alarming and posed serious concerns to the well-being of the people within the state. The governor said that his administration was worried about the reports, adding that those behind the plot are targeting disruption of farming activities through kidnappings and attacks on rural farm settlements. Adeleke said the schools were targeted with abductions and attacks as a way of distracting the implementation of the Safe School initiative and the multi-billion naira infrastructure plan in Osun State.
You're still watching the 9 p.m. news on VOB TV. We'll now go on a short break and return with more stories. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Delta State Police Command has announced the arrest of 2 suspected kidnappers and 4 suspected cultists in separate operations. This was disclosed in a statement by the command's public relations officer, DSP Bright Edafe, today. The statement added that the DPO continued investigations on the incident, which paid off on March 5th when one Peter Idogo, aged 24, and 19-year-old Emmanuel Sunday from Evwereni community were apprehended through a technology-aided investigation as a search for the remaining gang members is ongoing. The suspects were also reported to have been identified by the victim. Upon seeing the officers, some of the suspects fled while 4 were apprehended while hiding in the ceiling. Reacting to the arrest, the State Police Commissioner CP Olufemi Abaniwanda in the statement instructed officers of the command to spare no effort in bringing criminals to account for their actions, warning that engaging in any sort of criminal activities in the state has dire consequences.
Now, no fewer than 61 people have been abducted by suspected terrorists who attacked the Buddha community in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. The state and police authorities are yet to confirm the attack, but a resident of the area told a newsman today that the bandits invaded the village on Monday night at about 11:45 p.m. where they kidnapped 61 people. According to a resident at Dauda Kajuru, the kidnappers stormed the community in large numbers and started shooting indiscriminately. He lamented that since the removal of an army commander popularly known as a Tega, banditry activities have resumed in full force around the Kajuru local government villages.
Still on insecurity, bandits who kidnapped 15 Quranic students in Sokoto State have established contact with their families, demanding a whooping sum of 20 million naira as ransom before they would be released. You will recall that the 15 students were abducted by bandits who raided Gidan Bakuso village in Gada local government area over Sokoto State in the early hours of Saturday. Proprietor of the school, Liman Abubakar, who confirmed the latest development, said the bandits called him and requested for 20 million naira for the student to be freed. The proprietor noted that he had tabled the matter to the village head. Meanwhile, the Sokoto State Police Command's Public Relations Officer, ASP Ahmed Rufai, said the State Police Command are working to free the abducted students.
The Inspector General of Police has disclosed that a special intervention squad will be launched in Kaduna to tackle the menace of insecurity. Kayode Egbetokun disclosed this to newsmen after meeting with Governor Sani at the government house today in Kaduna. The police boss said it was time for action and to do everything possible to ensure the safe return of the abducted school children in Kuriga Chinko local government area of Kaduna State. He added that the commanders of the Special Intervention Squad had been trained while the men were currently undergoing training. He disclosed that the first batch of the special squad would pass out of training soon and be deployed immediately to commence action. Afterwards, Egbetokun, who was also on a maiden working visit to the police command, commended the personnel for their dedication and commitment to ensuring security in the states.
The Nigeria Customs Service Sokoto Zamfara Area Command has released the 15 seized trucks of grains in its command to the owners. This development was announced in a statement today by the Public Relations Officer of the command, Abdullahi Abubakar. Abubakar said the development was in compliance with the presidential directive. You will recall that President Tinubu over the weekend directed the Customs Service to return all food items that were confiscated at border communities to owners on the condition that they would be sold in Nigerian markets to boost food sufficiency. However, the Customs Area Controller in charge of the command, Kamal Mohammed, while handing over the trucks of grain at the command headquarters in Sokoto, charged the traders to reciprocate the president's magnanimity by ensuring that the grains were sold to Nigerian markets. Kamal added that the command, in collaboration with the Customs Intelligence Unit and Joint Border Patrol Team, and enlightened traders and the general public that grains are under the extant export.
In support of the food security and agriculture mechanization drive of the President Bola Tinubu administration, Vice President Kashim Shettima has flagged off an empowerment scheme to assist farmers in the country. The scheme, Kashim Shettima Foundation's Agricultural Empowerment Program, launched in Kaduna State at the weekend, heralds the commencement of distribution of tractors, seeds, fertilizers, herbicides, and other essential farming inputs to beneficiary farmers for the 2024 farming season. The Vice President today, in a statement by his spokesman Stanley Wokocha, described farmers in the country as the underappreciated heroes who till the soil, sow the seeds, and nourish the nation. The VP emphasized the crucial role of agriculture in Nigeria's economy, highlighting its contribution to the gross domestic product GDP and its significance as the primary employer for millions of citizens. Highlighting challenges facing the agricultural sector, the VP said that the Kashim Shettima Foundation's Agricultural Empowerment Program will continue to support farmers in the state by providing farming inputs, technical guidance, and financial empowerment.
The properties worth millions of naira have been destroyed following a fire outbreak at the popular Wuse market in Abuja today. The incident led to confusion and traffic gridlock roads leading to the market as people were seen scampering for safety. Security personnel at the market have since barricaded the entrance to prevent people from moving into the affected areas. Some cars parked by the entrance of the market were destroyed by the inferno. The cause of the fire outbreak could not be ascertained at the time of filing this report. Firefighters were battling to put out the inferno recently.
Coming up is business, sports, and entertainment. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now in business, the International Monetary Fund IMF has advised the Nigerian government to prioritize social protection measures to alleviate the hardships faced by poor and vulnerable citizens amidst surging prices of essential commodities. IMF's Director of Communications, Julie Kozak, emphasized the need to address food insecurity and strengthen social safety nets to mitigate the impact of rising food, drug, and transportation prices. The implementation of targeted social safety net programs is crucial to cushioning the effect of costly subsidies on fuel and electricity, paving the way for future reforms. Furthermore, the recent tightening of monetary policy by the Monetary Policy Committee is seen as a positive step towards curbing inflation and stabilizing the naira. The IMF acknowledges the challenges faced by Nigerians and underscores the importance of collaborative efforts between the government and international organizations to alleviate vulnerable households. Addressing immediate priorities such as food security lays the foundation for sustainable economic recovery and long-term resilience.
Still in business, despite Binance's announcement of its exit from Nigeria, two of its executives, Tigran Gambarian and Nadeem Anjawala, remain detained by Nigerian authorities in Abuja. The prolonged detention of the executives who entered the country to address disputes regarding Binance's operations underscores the ongoing regulations challenges in the cryptocurrency sector. Concerns have been raised regarding the lack of clarity on whether the executives face criminal charges, leaving their families anxious for updates on their situation. Binance's representatives have confirmed ongoing efforts to secure the release of the detained executives, emphasizing their professionalism and cooperation with Nigerian authorities. However, the situation highlights the complexities of regulatory compliance and enforcement in emerging markets, posing challenges for multinational companies operating in the cryptocurrency space. As discussions continue between Binance and Nigerian authorities, stakeholders await a resolution to the matter, hoping for a swift and amicable conclusion.
In the same vein, the World Health Organization has urged governments worldwide to regulate electronic cigarettes, e-cigarettes, and implement a ban on all flavors, treating them akin to traditional tobacco products. The recommendation poses challenges for major tobacco companies banking on e-cigarettes as alternatives to traditional smoking. While some countries have implemented strict regulations on e-cigarettes, enforcement remains a challenge, leading to availability on the black market. Diverse approaches to e-cigarette regulation are observed globally, with countries like Australia and China implementing stringent measures, while others, including the EU and UK, adopt more nuanced approaches. The WHO's call for a global ban underscores growing concerns over the health impact of e-cigarettes and the need for comprehensive regulatory frameworks to protect public health. As debates on e-cigarette regulation continue, stakeholders navigate complex regulatory landscapes to balance public health concerns within industry interest.
We now move on to the world of entertainment, where Afrobeat singer Davido has erroneously claimed that Nigeria has only 3 tribes, namely the Yoruba, Igbo, and Benin. Davido, who goofed while hosting popular American content creator Kai Cenat, who is in Nigeria for a documentary yesterday in Lagos, said there are 3 tribes in Nigeria. According to him, there's Yoruba, his father is Yoruba and in Nigeria. He says wherever one's father is from, that's where the person is from. And he said his mother is from Benin. Therefore, he is 3 tribes in one. Contrary to the timeless singer's claim, the National Bureau of Statistics revealed that there are 371 tribes in Nigeria, the majority of which are Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba.
Still on entertainment, the Nigerian singer Fireboy DML has said after the release of his upcoming 4th studio album, he will be going on a vacation in search of someone to break his heart. According to him, he wants to experience heartbreak because his next album after his upcoming project will be about heartbreak. Fireboy has revealed in multiple interviews that his 4th studio album will arrive this year. However, he has yet to disclose the album title, release date, tracklist, and feature.
We now move on to the world of sports, where former Nigerian international manager Sunday Olise has expressed his readiness to coach the Super Eagles if the right conditions are in place for him. You will recall that Olise managed the senior national team from July 2015 until February 2016 before leaving the job after he had a turbulent relationship with the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, and some senior players. The 49-year-old who formerly played for J is being considered as a potential replacement for Jose Peseiro.
And finally, on sports, Edwards, as the company's chief executive of football, he turned down one approach by FSG to bring him back after Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp announced he would be stepping down at the end of the season. Godon added Edwards will take over responsibilities that he previously held regarding oversight and management of Liverpool FC's Football Federation. Edwards joined Liverpool in 2011 and became sporting director in 2016 before leaving the club in summer 2022. Following his exit, he turned down a number of offers to return to the game, which included roles to run football operations at Chelsea and Manchester United. His new role at FSG will include a restructure of football operations at Liverpool, which will include bringing a new sporting director. Liverpool have been without a sporting director following Jurgen's exit in January, and they have been linked with Richard Hughes, who will leave his role as Bournemouth technical director at the end of the season. The new sporting director will then be responsible for identifying and recruiting a successor to Klopp.
And now to wrap up the news, let's take a recap of the stories that made it to the headlines. You heard that Ningi'S has resigned as chairman of the Northern Senators Forum.
And Tinubu approves nomination of Civil Service Commission others.
Senate Majority Leader alleges plot to impeach Akpabio.
And in sport, I will accept Super Eagles job if conditions are right, Olisa. Thanks for watching. I'm Kayla Abraham.
And I am Chioma Innocent. Good evening.